All right, I'm here with Jake, Rob Cesternino, and very happy to welcome you to the third place finishers club here on Survivor. And I don't think we have another member that's quite so baby girl.
Oh man, I love it so much. You see it first and you're like, what is this about? I don't really get it, and I still don't really get it, but I'm here for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, Jake, how you holding up today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It was an amazing experience. And I did everything I thought I could do. And I feel like I left it all out there. And like I came back, I said, I don't need to be viewed as an amazing Survivor player. I don't need that. I just want everyone to know that like I really left every last piece of myself out there, and I feel like that was
We
shown.
got that. We got
Yeah.
that. Yes. Okay. At the final tribal council, were you just like, hey, this is house money? And did you feel like at any point that things were turning in your favor?
You know what? It's crappy to say, but I felt like I was going to be drawn dead. Like once Final Five didn't go my way, it was. I mean, D is one of the best winners ever. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? You see it right in front of you. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of depressing. But all I really wanted to do is go in there and do the best I could do. I don't know, opening statements, which I thought was solid that they con. I said, Boston Rob has never played well from the bottom. Sanders never played well from the top. It is apples and oranges, but like let's respect oranges for oranges and apples for apples.
Okay. Now, was there one vote from the jury that you thought you might have had?
I thought it was possible that I could get Bruce or Caleb, but
hmm
like honestly, sitting like one of the toughest parts about Final Travel, it's like, damn, like I can make my best argument, but even like looking at my game in the absolute best light, I wouldn't have voted for me. You
hmm
know what I mean? So I can't really blame anyone else for not voting for me. And I'm happy that Final Tribal like was as back and forth as it was. It was
Yeah.
cool to watch.
Okay. So you were there, and I think I know your answer, but you were almost in the Laurel spot where that it could have been 4-4.
I
Caleb
thought I
votes the other
was.
way, and you got to go up there and you cast your vote. You know what you would have done?
Yeah, I would have voted for D. Um, for a couple reasons. I mean, at New Lulu, like it was like everyone there, like Bruce, Kelly, Coutura, Caleb, we all sat down and were like, yo, D looks like she's in charge. Like you didn't even have to be on the same beach
Yeah.
to know that that girl is a force. You know what I mean? And she was such a huge threat the whole time. And like
Yeah.
I felt like I saw it the whole time, but she was just so insulated and really allowing me to like not that it's like the entire decision maker, but like a huge fact. She let me make fire. Like I just needed the fire so much mentally. And D letting me do that. I know it's a strategic thing for her, like with taking Austin, but it meant so much to me. And it was yeah, she would have had my vote.
But now you almost had the hero move to take D out of the game, and it didn't work out with Katora flipping her vote at the last second. So, having a lot of time to process like how that all went down. Could you just give us the breakdown of why that didn't work from your perspective?
Yeah, so I think like that morning, like I really like so the concern about in my mind, D was always the bigger threat to win. Julie was also a huge. If I was sitting next to either one of them, I was losing. My final three was Austin and Coutura, and like because just my view, I didn't think Coutura had the votes, and Austin. I think I can make the argument that for at least from my perspective, that he was the least involved with the strategy making. From my perspective, obviously outside looking in, but I'm sorry. What was the question? Tell him ADT, Rob.
You know what? There was a moment at Tribal Council where Kelly went home where you had a moment that was just like that. And I wondered if, like, were you playing that up to try and then get people to think that when you then intentionally did the slip up about the idol, were you selling that from that point, or did you really lose your train of thought?
Oh man, no, I really lost. So like the my idol thing I had planned going in, like I was gonna try that. It was like I like, but yeah, my brain gas out was just it wasn't even that like I was like now it's happening right now. Look at this.
hmm
But so it was like all day, no one really gave me anything. Like the only person who gave me something is Emily sat me down on the beach, and Emily was kind of like, Jake, you can play an idol tonight, you can play a shot and attack tonight. You could not. It really doesn't make a difference to me. I can't tell you who I'm voting for, but you'll be here tomorrow. So do whatever you want with that information. Don't feel forced that I'm telling you to play anything or to not. That's the only inkling I had all day. And it was the gas out was just like, I made my pitch to everyone all day,
Yeah.
and it's fallen on deaf ears of so many people. And it's just like, you're supposed to be there and fight for your life, and like you want to, but it's like you just don't have the words. Like, what do you say? Like, no one's giving you anything all day to vote a different way, or what they're gonna do other than you. And so it's truly, I don't even remember the whoa, sorry, whoa. But yeah,
Yeah.
the My Idol was purpose. Like the brain gas out was just like, what do I even do?
Yeah. Okay. What was Nana's reaction to the finale? Did you talk to her?
I have not talked to her yet. I watched it in the West Coast, and the first thing I did was got up and be on here. So I still need to talk to her. But she's been loving it. It's so funny because her sister's still alive, and she calls every Thursday morning and says, Tina, it says, Jake, great job last night, but I need to recap this with your grandmother.
Yeah. Okay. You had a moment with the challenge that I don't know if any of us will ever forget. Could you just take us through your perspective of when you ultimately, like, the things fall down, you have to go back and make the second trip. You're obviously frustrated. Did you think that the challenge would break?
No. So like in my mind, I'm making a high IQ move. I thought those things were bungee cords. I thought it would go all the way to the ground and be fine, because you had to run back and forth. And it's like, why am I going to high step over this if this is going to go all the way to the ground? And then when it was shaking, you couldn't use your hands to even it out, even when you didn't have anything on there. So I'm like, let me step over it. At the end, I'll let it up slowly with my foot to, balance it out, stop it from shaking. So I needed to catch up. And like the thing is that like D was ahead. D never dropped once. D was
Yeah.
always going to win, but it just hurt to be like, it sucked being like, oh, Jake, you're out. You don't have a shot. And it's like, damn, I just want to like fight for it. You know what I mean? And it's like, that was the tough part with it. I really thought it would go all the way to the ground. And I thought I was making, I thought I was going to be on like Peridium's challenge hacks or something.
Yeah, you broke the challenge in a different
Yeah,
way. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I could tell you felt bad about breaking the challenge.
Oh, I felt awful. I like, it wasn't my intention at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like,
Um,
get off. Sorry.
it was a tough challenge night overall because you start off with the high highs, and you've changed the way that people count objects now for all the Survivor fans for future purposes. Okay. But then you have the advantage, and then you have that moment you forgot the keys, then you get back and you're right there with us, and then you have the missing puzzle piece. And then can you just talk about that, and then your reaction to then Jeff holding it up for you?
Rob, can you tell that I'm not an athlete? Did we figure that out this season? But
You did all
yeah,
right.
no, going back, yeah, no, I know. But going back down, I was like, all right, like whatever, like wasn't too long, like quick up and down. But the puzzle piece, man, that's like Jeff's clown shoe from Big Brother. You know what I mean? It's like, damn it, dude. Like it was right there. It was right there. It was just blocked by like that ring. And like I just didn't see it. And I'm just so focused because like, we're on the last thing. And I'm like, oh damn, man. Like that sucks. But you're going right into the reward. And it's like, all right, I need to get back in the game mode and like how can I optimize this idol and like move forward for this final five vote? Because honestly, like not winning immunity, I think, even though final five didn't work out, I think kind of helps me
Mm-hmm.
way, because like I think me being put in a position where I felt like to maximize my idol, I had to tell people to like force their votes. It kind of makes me seem more powerful if final five works out, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that final five vote was just one of the wildest votes that we ever had. So do you feel like that? So I wanted to ask you about telling Austin about the idol. So like, what did that buy you by telling him about your idol?
Yeah, so I knew Austin was telling D, right? I never wanted to play it. I never wanted to play it for myself because I'm like, there's not a lot of win equity in me. Like, number one, I don't think they should be voting me out of the game at this point. And then number two, it's like, okay, all the votes come on me. I play the idol for myself. I don't think that's the maximum effect. In my mind, I tell Austin, Austin tells D, and I think there's a pretty good chance D tells Julie. I'm not getting votes right there. I tell Coutura, I'm not getting a vote from her. And so in my mind, it's like, I don't think D's going to vote for Julie. And I think D's probably voting Coutura. And I thought Austin might be voting for Julie, but I also thought there was a possibility I'd be voting for Coutura. And like, if Julie got the information. She couldn't vote for Austin, so she was probably going to vote for me or Coutura. I thought the information would get back, and then when I saved Coutura, her natural reaction of being like excited, like she didn't know, I think that helps me in front of the
Yep.
jury. I thought her reaction was great for me. I wish her vote was great for me, but Austin's out of the loop on another vote. D's gone. Julie's out of the loop, and I try to throw myself in the challenge and I make fire against Julie if that's possible.
Were you concerned that Coutura, had you told her ahead of time, I know you wanted that reaction from her, but were you concerned that she would have voted for you?
Yeah, there definitely was like a concern because I mean, we didn't see eye to eye strategically, and I think that's very
Right.
obvious. I don't think that's a mystery, and yeah, there's a concern that could have been like they were talking about me, like they showed in the episode they were
Yeah.
talking about me. So I think I think it was the right move because at the end of the day, I was kind of like, you know what, I could go home, but like I didn't come here to not go home. I came here to win, and so
Mhm.
like that's what I tried to do with that.
Yeah, you and Katara, you were together the entire game for 24 days of being together, and you two were never able to get on the same page. What was the disconnect
You know
as
what?
two fellow lawyers?
You know what? I think it was like the rings thing. Like I thought in my mind when I told like I think like with the Caleb vote and like Caleb going home, like I think like it is the correct move for me to like still try to force that vote. I think we approached Coutura terribly. I think it would have been the right move for Coutura to come with us, but like
Yeah.
honestly, looking at it, dude, I don't even know if I would make the move if I was in Couture's position. Like it's obviously a tough move to ask someone to do, but like in my mind, like I'm thinking about you and like Matt back in Amazon, and you'd be like, hey, here's everything, here's all the cards, like
Yeah.
let's ride this out, me, you, and Caleb, let's go, because I felt that way. And on it, and even earlier in the game, like I heard my name night one, the girls were all talking in the shelter, and I was like lying right next to them, like, oh shit, night one, really? And Kendra comes out to me like, whatever, there's a scene at Early Bello, and she's like, hey, I brought your name up. I love you. I don't want you going anywhere. We're good.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, honestly, that felt really good when Kendra dumped all the information, even more than she really had to. And so I thought it would work with Couture, and it didn't. Me and Caleb just had a terrible approach with Couture. I do think it's our right play. It's my right play moving forward.
Okay. And real quick, before you have to run, can you just talk a little bit about what it's meant to just have this incredible reaction from the audience to your story this season?
Oh man, I thought I was gonna be like just bopped around all season, just like smacked around by everything. And like, I mean, I was, but not the fans. Like, it's been like really positive. Like, even when like things haven't gone my way, like people have been super kind and super supportive. And I think
Yeah.
it would be super easy to like, you know, bash on me, but like people have just been super respectful. And like, even with like, the weight loss, so many people reaching out about eating disorders and stuff was like, just like, oh my god, like it meant a lot to people, and that was like super touching to like hear people's stories and like my DMs and stuff. And I'm super blessed to have like the reaction I have had, like amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope that we can chat some more when you have even more of a voice to be able to get into everything and maybe a little bit more sleep. Would love to do that down the road. So, Jake, all the best to you and congrats on a great run this season.
Thanks, Rob, I appreciate it.